I am Jazzie Carrington, and this is my show, What's Hot with Jazzie. I'm introducing you to some of the hottest, most innovative people around the nation, from pop culture entertainment to people making a difference in your community and mine. So let's get started with What's Hot with Jazzie. Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to What's Hot with Jazzie. I'm your host tonight, Jazzie Carrington, and I am so excited to be back doing a special episode of Hot Talk, Hot Topics with my fabulous traveling friend, Corie Scott.
Hello. Glad to be back. Glad to be back on the show.
Yay!
So yeah, let's get with the hot topics.
I know. I'm so excited. But before we get into the hot topics, look, you had to have had like the best New Year's.
Yes.
Man, Dubai.
Uh-huh.
How was bringing in the New Year in Dubai?
Oh, it was amazing. It was words can't describe Dubai. I mean, they have the best technology. One of the safest cities in the world. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no homeless people on there that ask you for money. There's nobody there. The government runs everything. And it's not as restrictive for women as you would think.
Yeah, you know, a man can't even insult a woman in public in Dubai. They will be fined like $300.
Yeah. And then, but women can wear whatever they want. They don't have to. Yeah, they don't have to wear their hair covered or anything else. The only time if you go into like a mosque, you have to wear something over your hair. But other than that, you wear the spaghetti strings. You can, yeah.
How was the camel ride?
It was I didn't get on the camel because the camel they wanted me to get on was foaming at the mouth. So we're not going to do that. So, but I did. Doing well, we did 4-wheelers in the desert.
Yeah.
And then we actually did in like a Toyota RAV4, actually going over the sand dunes, like in a car SUV over the.
In a car?
Yes.
Oh wow! Move over a little bit. Get you more in the camera.
Got me way over here.
Get you more in the shot. Like pull over this way.
I'm on the shot. Yes.
That's better. Oh, well, Corie, I'm so happy you had a fabulous time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend. She was actually in Morocco for New Year's Eve.
Ooh.
Yes, fabulous. And I've already vowed when she goes back, I'm going.
Gotta go. My thing is always travel is the one thing you spend money on but makes you richer.
Wow. Why do you say that? Because
the history, because of the things that you hear from other people until you go to another country and you'll be like, wow, it looks totally different. People act totally different.
Yeah.
And it's the experiences that you have.
Well, so you think it makes you richer in wisdom?
Yes.
Well, you know, Cat Williams said in his infamous interview, I think it wasn't with Shannon Sharp. I think it was with Willie D. He said that no matter where you go in the world, everyone is basically the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got basic needs. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants, to succeed. Everybody wants to be better, do better.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Well, we getting ready to do these hot topics. Y'all ready? All right. So the first thing I want to talk about, I'm gonna go there tonight, y'all. Common and Jennifer Hudson. So, when I talk about these things, I kind of like to break it down. But tonight, I'm going to have to go in on Common a little bit.
Hey, sometimes you have to.
Yes, because I'm over it. So, now, of course, he's moved on to Jennifer Hudson. And so I think it was last week, supposedly, they were announcing their relationship to the world on her talk show. And of course, he comes on there. He gives her flowers, and they're talking. And so she asks him, "Are you dating anyone?" You know, so cute.
Get the setup going.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's like, "Oh yes, I'm dating this amazing, intelligent woman. She's got an EGOT," and he's just like, "Ooh," you know. Everybody's like, "Oh yay!" But he never still said she was his woman.
I mean, gotta live the mystery, you know what I'm saying? Guy, you know.
Bull jive. Let me tell you something. He promoting his book.
Of course.
Okay? He is promoting his book. And what better way? He's been going to every talk show from Good Morning America on. And it's like, oh, cool. You know, she's the hotness right now. The hot black girl that has a talk show that's doing very well. She has some very heavy hitters on her show. Yes. And so it's like, oh, yeah, we'll just announce our relationship to the world and I can promote my book.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. If I had a book, I'm going to promote that book everywhere too. I'm going to be walking around, hey, you got my book? You need to buy that. Go ahead and get my book.
Well, he also gave her some Nikes on the show as a gift because, you know, she says she wanted to learn how to play basketball. So he says, oh, I saw that you like these in the store. So I got these for you. And some of the comments were like, he remembers she liked them. Let me tell you something. Common is the most clever and best boyfriend. He knows how to manipulate. He knows how to say, he says about every girl he goes to, oh, they're amazing, intelligent. He says the same thing.
No, but that's what you need.
He says the same thing.
They're amazing,
intelligent. Oh, I'm with this amazing, intelligent woman. It's always the same song. He, to me, is a master manipulator. This is just my opinion. And I think he's a bit of a narcissist.
Really?
Yes, I do.
I think he's consistent.
And I think he's a womanizer.
He's consistent.
He's very consistent. He's very consistent. And his track record, to me, is just a little ridiculous because this guy is non-committal. He is not going to commit to anybody. Common only commits to Common.
I mean, well, when you have options, it takes a little longer. It takes, take a little extra in order to be committal.
A lot of men have options, but they still, a decent, good guy still knows how to give his heart to one woman.
And you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because it all depends on what you're focused on. Because if you are focused on building a legacy, building family, doing things, then you'll be like, you know what? I need to find somebody that I match with because honestly, going from woman to woman is expensive. It is expensive. So it's better you get the one person and y'all can build together and yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I notice his pattern. So this is just my opinion, what I've seen. And I think a lot of people will agree with me. He always goes for the it girl at the time. The it black girl. So it first started out years ago with Erykah Badu. That's when she was like big. She first came out. Okay. That didn't work. Then he was with Serena. Of course, at that time, Serena, top tennis player in the world, America. She stayed on top for a while. So he stayed with her for about 5 years until I think she basically wanted to settle down and have kids, which she did. Okay. Then it was Tiffany Haddish. She was the it girl.
But that was like quick though. That wasn't
but before that, it was Angela Rye.
Okay.
And Angela Rye was doing the, she was the contributor on CNN. So she was really, doing well on that. And then I don't think she's with them anymore. So then, but she actually, Angela Rye, if I can remember correctly, she actually did a video about the breakup and said she wanted kids.
So you got to look at the common thing, because you can only stay with a woman so long before they be like, you know what you gonna do?
Exactly. What we doing?
So that may not be him though. That just may be the
Hear me
out. Most men, they kind of show you who they are. They kind of show, and then there's some women out there like, well, I can change him. Oh, I'm gonna give him something. He gonna be with me. Exactly. And then once they don't change, now they're like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? We going 3-4 years, and where's the ring? Where's the proposal? He's like, nah, I told you in the beginning. I told you what it was.
Well, I think he's a professional boyfriend.
It very well can be. He's a professional
boyfriend. And he can be an incredible boyfriend as long as you allow him to be.
True.
Or when he gets tired and he's ready to move on. He's went as far as he's willing to go.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking it's not so much as he's getting tired. I'm thinking the women are getting tired. Well,
Tiffany Haddish didn't seem tired. She seemed a little hurt up over there because he broke up with her.
One out of many. Because you are going to get something, you be like, yeah, this ain't going to work.
Yeah, but
the common thing. But yeah,
she seemed like she was really in love with him.
She probably was.
She said he was the best boyfriend she had ever had.
Mm-hmm.
He got game now. He is a master manipulator. He's a master. But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing with J Hud, what might last for a while, because she stayed with someone previously she was engaged with for like 8 years and they never married, which tells me maybe she's not so committal either.
Probably.
So you put two people
who just, have they can be, Oprah, Stedman, have a little arrangement going on. They like, listen, we both better as just being, we're going to do what we do.
But I love Oprah and Stedman.
Exactly, and everyone does. So, this may be the new.
No, this is the common.
Okay.
This is common for common.
Exactly.
To me, run.
But they're going to run right to him and they're going to change him.
Well,
and when he don't change, then they're like, man.
Exactly. And God, she was so giddy on the show and just cheesing. Boy, she was just happy. And honey, I ain't gonna lie. I made the comment. I said, enjoy it while it lasts, honey.
You never know. Sometimes you gotta let things play out.
I just don't see him committing. I knew somebody like that. I actually dated someone that's just like him.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women.
Yeah, dated a lot of guys just like it. Exactly.
So this ain't a common thing.
This is not something that's unusual.
Exactly.
There's a lot of being like him. But you know what? Do you think it happens more? Okay, I'm going to get a little controversial. I just want to, as a man of color, do you think it happens more often with our culture of men than other cultures?
Yes and no. I would say yes, because our culture, we suffer from an identity crisis. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we came from. And we often try to look for our past, but most of our past is, I'm not going to go all the way there.
Right.
But I do know that because we're trying to find ourselves, especially as a man of color, you typically like something like, oh, this is what I want. This is amazing. And then it's not what you want. You're like, oh, my bad. I was playing.
That is not.
I'm just saying. Because if you don't necessarily know who you are or what you want, everything looks good. And you're like, oh, I want a successful woman. She's going to be, a millionaire or, guys are own business. And then when you don't see it all the time, you're like, man, it's not what I wanted.
But I find with a lot of men of color, and I hate to say this, have abandonment issues.
Yeah.
And I think because in our culture, unfortunately, we have a lot of absent fathers in our culture. I can only speak for us. And I find that with a lot of African American men, and they seem to have, that seems to be the core of the issue with committing.
It is the core of it. However, it's more so of, I mean, because you can actually change it. You can change anything.
Yeah.
You have to seek something that's better and realize that, you know what, I can go further. I can go farther with somebody else. I mean, you like a woman always makes a man way better than what he is. And a lot of men don't realize that.
I agree. Two is better than one. And another thing, what people don't realize is God blesses marriages. And he shows favor on marriages. And so when the marriage is, well, but let me correct this. If the marriage is something that he ordained and put together, not something you did.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, listen, this is what I want.
Yeah, sometimes it's like God be like, no, you need to get away from that. You need to move on from that.
Yeah, and then some things happen to make you
right. But I think when it's ordained by God, I think that's when you have his favor and he really blesses you. I've seen couples that I knew were meant to be. My son and my daughter-in-law, I've seen them soar. I've seen other couples, young couples, just soar. It's like everything they touch. I think it's more so because I totally wholeheartedly believe in, God ordains people together and they're meant to be together. Yeah.
I do believe, even outside of that, is that whenever you have a focus, something that's better than you.
Yeah.
So whenever you're focusing on something else, then you're always going to do better than everybody else because you don't have the distractions. And especially in this society with social media and everybody wants to be famous and everybody wants to be, an influencer or to be somebody, it makes it even more harder to be faithful in a relationship, in a marriage.
Well, yeah, because now it's like everyone's attention seeking. It's like, it's like, oh, wow, I don't have to now, remember back in the day when we didn't have all this stuff, I mean, for me anyway, I don't know how old you are.
I remember one day I can get married because I got to go to this forum.
So back in the day when you had to be at home and wait for the phone calls, and back in the day when, you got bullied in school or you got picked on, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't, it was a thing.
It wasn't a global thing.
It wasn't a global thing. It was local. And then also it's a thing now where it's like, oh, I can stand here and take this selfie half naked, or I can do this and I can get all this attention from these guys. A guy, I can show my six pack and all these girls are following me and I'm getting all these chin. And now, everybody's like, when they want to hook up, they're DMing, people don't call no more.
Nope.
They just shoot you a DM.
It's quite interesting, especially as a single male. Like typically, you don't even ask somebody for their phone number anymore. You're like, yo, let me get your Instagram.
What's your
Snapchat? What's your TikTok? Exactly. Like, you don't even get the number anymore. Like, if you ask somebody for the phone number, like, oh, what's that? Like, well, I got to call you.
It's like, what's that, phone number? Don't you text?
Exactly. I gotta
shoot you a DM.
Yeah, I gotta pick up the phone and call.
But people are a little sneaky about that too, because people can be married and have significant others and sending those DMs.
Yeah, but
to be
not today's climate, because now women be like, they like the FBI. They gonna find. They're like, I'm looking at the second page. I'm gonna look at the other page. I'm looking at my friends, and I'm gonna see you. They do that
because it shows when you be liking them little pictures. I be like, oh. No, he didn't.
You gave her 2 cakes?
You gave her heart eyes?
And a cake? I know you love her.
That is so true.
Exactly. I just like the picture. I don't know what the big deal is.
I know, and it's just like people be getting pissed off. They be going off.
Some of the worst arguments I've had.
The worst.
Oh, you like this picture though?
Oh, why you like that one?
He's like, we like that one. Oh, you gave a 2K and all. Man, come on, man. I thought it was a nice picture.
But that's true, though. That is so true. And stuff like that, or they're like stalking your stories or stalking your stuff, trying to see, like, what are you doing? Like, who, like,
Oh, no, they were like, I text you, but then.
But you on your Instagram.
You like 4 pictures on Instagram, but you ain't texting back.
But you ain't text me back. What's up? What's going on?
He's like, what's going on? We didn't have to talk. Oh, Jesus.
It's a lot.
It is a whole lot.
It's too much. And I think this is just my opinion in relationships, just to keep the peace. And because, I posted this in my stories one time, this lady saying, Instagram is not for your friends. Social media is not for your friends. It's really branding, connecting. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be fun. People promoting their businesses, branding. So I think, this is just my opinion, when you're in a relationship, when you really love somebody and you really feeling them, I think you should lay off the stalking the stories. I mean, stalking their posts.
Say that, but
you can look at it.
Do it.
I'm just saying.
Let me give you another.
I'm just saying to not
what y'all women do, and y'all know that man gonna be stalking your page. Matter of fact, you had him blocked, you unblock him. Then you be sitting there on the beach, have a shoulder in a photo. You're like, who's that?
I'm not saying don't look at your boo's page and stuff. Like, look at his page. I mean, especially if he finds it, look at his page, and stuff like that. But I'm saying, but don't go in with it with the idea of like, what you doing?
Yeah, because usually
what did that mean? What's that about?
And that goes back to whole old school when my grandmother used to always tell me, if you go looking for something, you gonna find it. And I promise you, let me give you some another words of wisdom from my grandmother and my mother, is that if somebody is lying and cheating on you, you ain't got to look for it.
You don't.
It's going to come directly to your face. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't stalk. I don't.
Oh my God, I'll tell you a situation I had years ago. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. So y'all, years ago, I was a Lyft driver. Yeah, I had gotten divorced. I needed some income. And I was like, well, I had one of my good friends and they were like, Jazzie, you should drive for Lyft. I said, what's that? He's like, you just drive people around. I was like, really? I was like, I can do that. Mm-hmm.
So you learn the old taxi cab confessions.
Right, exactly. So this was kind of like when Lyft was first like, when Uber and Lyft was first like blowing up. Yep, like in the beginning. Years. I know, yeah, we all did the Uber and Lyft for a while.
How much money I can make on the weekend?
Yeah, I was like, woo, heck yeah.
I was driving around on a Friday night anyway.
Exactly. Just don't throw up in my car.
Exactly.
Because a lot of intoxicated people.
Get that cleaning fee.
Yeah, that cleaning fee was good. One about like $400.
Exactly.
But anywho, so let me tell you what happened. You're going to love this story. This story is a trip, y'all. So I started dating this dude. This was years ago. I started dating this dude. And he would always talk about his ex-wife. Mm-hmm. He said she was an attorney, how gorgeous she was, and we would go to events and parties, and she could just never introduce her name. She would be like, I'm attorney so-and-so. And I said, really? And I'm thinking, why is he telling me this? But it was like every time I would see him, he kept bringing that up. He kept saying it. Like, mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I don't want to keep talking about your ex-wife. Child, let me tell you how God works, y'all. One day, at the time, I was separated. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it wasn't like serious because, and he would always say, like we, believe it or not, y'all, we were chased. We won't do anything. We were actually, good Christian people.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was saying that, you're not divorced. You're legally a married woman, because he was a Christian. He considered himself a Christian. He said, but you're not legally divorced. So, we need to keep this platonic. We can still continue to get to know each other. And once your divorce is final, then we could see if we can move to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, cool, whatever. I'm like, I'm getting divorced. I really don't care at this point. Because I don't know where I'm going in life right now.
Yep.
So anyway, I was driving one day and I went to this school.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little school. It went up to 5th grade, little private school.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up this lady and I took her. She always went to go get Starbucks. Now, child, I ain't trying to be mean. Y'all, please don't chastise me, but she literally looked like Shrek. She really did. Because even when I saw her, I was like, she looked like Shrek. I didn't mean it to be mean, but she really did.
She could have been Fiona.
She looked like a cross between Fiona and Shrek. I was like, okay. But she was nice, So I was like, oh, but she's nice, So she would always go to Starbucks on her lunch break. So I picked her up one day when we got along so cool. She was like, oh my God, I love you as my Lyft driver. I was like, cool. Dropped her off back at school. She was a teacher there. She was a 5th grade teacher. And she had a daughter that went there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember this part. The guy I was dating, he had 2 daughters, but they were like close in age.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, I said, is one of your daughters, is either one of your daughters by your ex-wife?
Mm-hmm.
Or, girl, I found out that information because I don't like no whole lot of baby mamas jumping around. I don't do when you got like baby mama over here, baby mama over there, If it's from the wife, I can deal with that. But a bunch of baby mamas, I don't mind a baby mama, but I don't want 2, 3. And he had 2 daughters. So I want to make sure
they were the same woman.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, no. He says, no.
Okay.
Just flat out no. So I said, okay. So fast forward. I got her again one day around lunchtime for Lyft. Mm-hmm. And I had a best friend at that time that lived in New Orleans. And we were finished up in a conversation. And I was telling her that, about me getting a divorce. And I was ready to get divorced so I could legitly start dating this guy because he wanted me to be divorced. I was like, oh, he's a good Christian guy. I want to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me tell you. So we're driving back. And she's like, yeah, I said, yeah, I'm with this guy. And I was like, we're just talking girls. And I said, yeah. And she says, oh, are you dating someone? I was like, well, I started going out with this guy. I said, he's really successful. He drives a Maserati. He's got a beautiful home. He has 2 daughters and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the basics. She stops. And she goes, I've been divorced since 2008. Mm-hmm. I said, really? At that time, it was like 2014.
Okay.
I said, really? She said, yeah. She says, she was like, I said, why did y'all get divorced? She was like, yeah. She says, excuse me, dust mite. So, I'm so sorry. Dust mite. Excuse me. Sorry, Corie. I promise.
The story is so juicy.
I know, right? I promise. I don't have the cooties or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I said, yeah. And she said, yeah. When I met him, he didn't have SHIT. He had nothing. And she was like, I started, and I stuck by him when he didn't have anything. We got married. And she says, and then he got successful. And the money just started coming fast. And he has a Maserati. And then he cheated on me. And I was pregnant and got the other girl pregnant at the same time. I said, girl. Girl, where he live? Girl, she gave me the address. I said, what's his name? She told me she was the ex-wife. She was the ex-wife. Let me tell you, God, like you said, things done in the dark. It will. You ain't even got to look for it. And let me tell you, so after she told me all that, I said, okay. So I gave him a call. I was like, look, I'm here to take a break. I need to talk to you about something. He was like, sure, I'll get in and whatnot. I went over there and I was like, I met your ex-wife today. I thought he was going to die.
Secret's out.
I said, the 5th grade teacher, that AKA attorney, that you were actually married to, that you had your daughter with, but cheated on her with the other baby mama and had another daughter at the same time. Yeah, that one. I said, anything you would like to say? Liar. He was like, oh, you know how you like to talk. What did you do? How did you get all this information? I said, you know what, honey? I said, it's not a matter of how I got it. I said, but God made sure I got it. I said, have a nice life. And I went out the door and slammed it.
Oh, yeah, proves my point. You don't have to look for it.
You don't have to look for it.
Oh, yeah. I learned that lesson the hard way.
You learned to I hope she didn't look like Shrek. Yeah, he claimed this lady was like so gorgeous. I was like,
sometimes you exaggerate.
Well, people have beauty in the inside.
Exactly. She had a beautiful
soul. She was a sweet girl. Yes. But he had did her dirty. And I was like, so then I kind of felt bad for her. But anyway, but moving on. But yeah, honey. So I just feel like, we've gotten into a place now where a lot of guys, it doesn't matter. I think it's a lot in our culture, but I think more and more now it's spreading where a lot of men are just not committing.
I mean, there's two sides to it. I'll tell you the male side. A lot of women are wanting they want the guy to do this and do that and do a bunch of things, and they're not trying to commit either. You can't take them to this, just a whole list of places. I know you saw the list.
What list?
How is this the hot topic?
I know. What about this list?
So no, there's a list of restaurants that a man shouldn't take a woman on the first date.
I saw that. And one was like Cheesecake Factory.
Yes, Cheesecake Factory.
I like Cheesecake Factory.
It was Cheesecake Factory, like Applebee's. It was like the movies. It was like the club, which I but it was a bunch of stuff so now women's in. So as a single man, it's hard to try to figure out who's really real or who just want a free meal or who is, somebody you want to get with. It's a lot.
Well, I'm real, but I do want a free meal. But I'm very real. But here's my thing, though, with me. I don't care. I have the mentality, as long as we're together, as long as if his company is just amazing. I just had recently, I was with someone and I was in Atlanta and we went out like the next morning for breakfast to IHOP and we had the best time.
IHOP is only this.
But yeah, I don't care. I don't care. But my point is we had a great breakfast. I love his company. I love his conversation. We had a beautiful time and it was amazing.
And that's what it's all about. Because on the list, like I said, it's like IHOP, Waffle House. But usually on the first couple of dates, you're not really going to eat anyway. You're too much talking, trying to get enough. So I take you to STK, Sullivan's, freaking Ruth Chris.
I don't like Ruth Chris. I'm sorry. But I shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
In any case, you want some high-end restaurants where you're supposed to be sitting there enjoying the food and the ambiance. Not, how many kids you got? I mean, like you doing like the first date. So I get it, but I don't get it. But that's what, as a male, you're up against. But also, women want a man to be chivalrous and open the car door and give you flowers and gifts. But then these women out here that don't want to be, they don't want to cook, they don't want to pay for it, they don't want to. You're like, listen, y'all want us to be old fashioned guys, but y'all don't want to be the old fashioned one.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to cook every night.
And you shouldn't have to.
I've got 3.
But some women don't cook at all.
Well, no, I will cook.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying. Some of these women that they have that list of, you got to have this, you got to have this kind of car, this kind of house, this kind of, and they ain't cooking nothing.
Well, you just want to eat.
No, I'm just saying. I'm trying to tie in. You want an old fashioned type guy, but then you trying to be a modern woman. So that's all.
Well,
and there's nothing wrong with eating. Listen.
Well, I think I'm a mixture. But I think I have a lot more old fashioned ways, and so I enjoy. If he wants me to cook, I'll cook. I can sit home on a Saturday night, watch movies, eat popcorn. I'm happy with that. Like, I don't have to, even though, like, okay, here's my attitude is if we're in a place where I know if he wants to, he can do those things. If I want to go to Ruth Chris, or if I want to go to
STK.
Oh yeah, if I want to go to like
high-end
fine dining restaurant, I know he can do that, but it's not a requirement because my thing is just loving being in his presence.
Yeah. Well, some women taking you out to places is a requirement, but as a caveat. As a man, I can take you out to the restaurants. However, could you take yourself out to the restaurants?
Yes.
No, I'm just saying, not for you. I'm just saying there's some women that want you to take you
but they ain't got $5 in their purse.
They can't even take themselves out there. So they want you to do it.
Yeah. I can definitely take myself, but I know, but I'm a girly girl.
Yes. So that's where that old school and new school.
So yeah, I'm very old school. I'm a girly girl. I like to be taken care of. I like to be pampered.
And there's a lot of women that does like to be taken.
Yeah, but I like him to lead that. I don't decide, you didn't do this, so like, nah.
I promise you there are women out there that do it. And really? My last boyfriend bought me this, and he did this, and he had a Maserati. And listen, I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, my thing is that I think what has happened is social media has really gave people a false reality.
It has.
I think, have you noticed, like, I go through the reels now, and I swear it's like every girl's got on a gown, or she's all just dressed up like she's Cinderella ready for the ball, or, she's showing her Chanel purse and all this. And I'm thinking, girl, everybody, this country has like how many percentage? It's a very low percentage of millionaires and billionaires. And I'm not saying there's not people that make good money, that make a healthy 5 or 6 figures. That's still great. But
they're doing it for the lights.
But the average person ain't balling like that.
Exactly. Well, you know what? Another quote that I'll give you guys is that my mother, grandmother, somebody in my family said, poor people spend a lot of money trying to look rich, and rich people spend a lot of money trying to look poor.
They do.
Because they will have on some jeans from Walmart, a daggone t-shirt, and then we worth billions. Yeah, so. They
will. And the thing about it is because they don't want you asking them for nothing.
Well, it's not even that. They're priorities. Like I said, it all comes down to, they're like, I'd rather buy this investment. I'm buying this building. I'm buying, I'm buying something that's going to bring me some money back versus buying something that's
I'd rather put, like, I'm like this, like, instead of trying to have a high-end fancy car, I'd rather put that into my house. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I want to go home to my beautiful home in my Hyundai, and I have done it because I have had a Hyundai, honey. Mm-hmm. But I know people who got the fancy cars, but they've been living in an apartment mm-hmm. for like ever 20 years. And it's like, why you keep buying all these Mercedes and BMWs, but yet you ain't got no house?
Yep.
You know, and I'm saying, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with leasing or renting an apartment or anything like that, because there's some beautiful apartments and people have their reasons. There is nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is somebody who's spending virtually $60,000, $80,000 on a vehicle. And I ain't talking about living in a high-rise, beautiful, nice apartment. I'm talking about they driving up to something that was built in 1985.
Yeah, because like, they got to save money to make that car payment.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's about priorities, and we all go through it, because I remember even when I was younger, staying in my mama's house, and then I had a car. I had a Pontiac. Put some rims on it. Because instead of me just investing my money into a better car or even doing something else with it, I wanted to feel as though, even though I got this regular car, that I'm doing something.
Right.
And that's another whole, we can get into all that, because it's more so about instant gratification. Because I can go out and buy a Maserati.
Yeah.
Sign real quick, boom. But buying a house, man, you gotta go through credit check, you gotta do deposit, you gotta go through inspections. So it's all about the same thing with social media.
Yeah.
Instant gratification. I know if I put on a dress, not me putting on a dress, but if a woman puts on a dress, or me put on, have my shirt out at the gym, that I'm gonna get 100,000 likes versus doing something that nobody's gonna see, buying an investment property or buying something and.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I love this, and I think about myself, that Charlotte said on Sex in the City. I love Sex in the City, the character Charlotte. Mm-hmm. I love Charlotte. Well, I know that's not her real name, but I love her in the role on Sex in the City. And so, and I thought about myself. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't have any problem with leasing, renting. I lease my house. Mm-hmm. But I lease my house because, I'm still kind of trying to figure out if I want to be in the area I'm still in, but I think when I move, that's when I'm gonna, if I decide not to buy my house I'm leasing, I think when I move, then I'll probably, but really and truly, I'm an old-fashioned girl. So this is what Charlotte said on an episode of Sex in the City, and I agree. She says, guys don't like to date women who own. They like to date women who because
and all is there is some truth.
That's what she said, and I was like, they do. Well, she said yes, they don't want owners, because she said it's better to lease when you're a single woman, because men don't want the owner, they want the leaser.
They do, but it all depends on the type of man that you want, because more, and then it also is other. We can go into all kinds of scenarios, because a man wants to feel as though I can take care of, I can provide for you. So therefore, if you're leasing, then you can come live with me, or we can go and buy a house together.
Right.
So you have that right there. Yeah. And even then, there's studies that you can actually, depending on home ownership versus leasing, that the money you have to put in for maintenance and for repairs and for things, if you put that in the stock market, honestly, you will make more money. You have more money than somebody that owns.
Well,
that's another whole.
I read that. I actually read that in a business, like a real estate business magazine. The guy said it's better to lease if you're single. Lease, because you don't have to spend. That's what I do love, because my heat has literally went out in this house, but I didn't have to pay.
Yeah, because you just call it
to fix it.
Could you come fix this?
Right. If something breaks, I don't have to try to get on a ladder and fix it myself, because I don't know how to do that. And
so the benefits.
Right. That's the benefits. I don't have that responsibility as a single woman living alone, that I've got to get up there and I'm like, oh.
And then also you a stalker, you just move.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, look, what? You know what, Liz?
I'm out.
I'm breaking my lease. I'm out this mug.
Corie, you're crazy.
Yeah, but that's the one thing that they don't tell you though. Like the money that you would put in for upkeep of a home, invest that in the stock market, and you'll actually, as long as you consistently invest, like because when you own a home, then you're gonna have to. It's gonna break. There ain't no maybe no stuff.
No, stuff's gonna happen.
Yeah. So, but that money that you have for stuff that breaks, put it in the stock market, and you'll come out ahead. Even though somebody that owns a home has equity and mortgage, and we may in the comments there may be a whole bunch of people that's gonna be disagreeing, agreeing. Doesn't matter. It's all good fun. However, I do know because I've ran the numbers and I've seen it because I've heard people say, "Oh, don't buy a house. It's a bad investment." But I'm like, well, wait a minute. I gotta have something that I can borrow against, something that I can, transfer. Sometimes I can give to somebody else. And then, but also too, I've seen the numbers on actually taking that money for maintenance and repairs, putting it in the stock market, and letting that grow and compound. As long as you don't touch the money, though.
Yeah, I'd probably touch it.
See? But then, like I said, you still have that. If something breaks, I can call somebody. I ain't got to worry about trying to come out my pocket with, because some of them repairs like $1,000, $2,000.
More than that. Mm-hmm. Well, I want to talk about this thing with Chrisean Rocks, Blueface. I think recently Blueface was arrested for violating his probation. So I think he's got to do like 6 months or something. And Chrisean Rocks, of course, everybody knows the story. I'm not going through it. I didn't even know if I would talk about this because they just are the most toxic. I mean, like, they just give me anxiety. They really do. So a few months back, Blueface had went back to his, I guess, former fiance now, who was his children's mom, Jaden, I believe her name is. And, he did this whole proposal on, he posted it or whatever. She said, yes, they seemed happy. Oh, we're back. And Chrisean, of course, she had his son. Of course, he kept saying for months, it's not my baby, whatever. And so Chrisean, I thought allegedly she was dating someone else, but maybe not. But anyway, even during this time of them being engaged, Chrisean's posting about him coming to her house. They're arguing. He's putting hands on her allegedly or whatever. Then, okay, so now allegedly, so now Blueface and the former fiance done. And allegedly, she is, oh my God, I don't even want to say, but let's just say she's supposedly in another relationship. And so now Chrisean goes on social media and shows her moving back into Blueface home.
It's a whole lot.
It's a lot.
Like, I ain't following all
that. But the biggest thing is that she recently got his whole face
tattooed on her face.
She's a pretty beautiful girl. She recently got his whole face tattooed on her face. And she's like smiling and she's happy and she's like, look at my tattoo. Child, what you think about this?
I don't even know if I want to even some people, like I said, they just do anything for, like I said, social media, for likes, for publicity. Who knows? I mean,
I don't think that's what it is.
What do you think it is?
I think you have two very broken people.
I would agree with that.
That are trauma bonding.
And instead of them healing themselves, they're using each other as ways to try to heal them.
They both have had very tumultuous childhoods. They both have had extensive trauma in their lives. And that's what bonds them together.
Yes, because y'all know what each other been through, and now I'm like, oh, well, I know how you feel, so let me try to be there, and then until you make me mad, and I'm going to leave.
Well, here's the thing. I don't even think it's a thing of saying, I know how you feel. I think sometimes unconsciously, see, because you attract who you are.
There you go.
And I think sometimes unconsciously, you can bond with somebody because that trauma feels familiar to you.
It does.
It feels familiar. So you're like, this is comfortable. I'm used to this. But if you're a person who's not used to peace, who's not used to no drama, oh my God, that can feel very overwhelming.
You'll be out. You'll be like, listen, I can't. I'm gonna walk away. Right. Because you're not used to that. You're like, listen,
that can be very overwhelming. That can be a lot. They're very young, and I'm not here to bash either one of them. I feel so sorry for them. I feel so sorry for them. They're two very beautiful people. I think it's sad, though, that basically their trauma has shaped their way of thinking. It shaped their way of thinking. But I still ain't going to get no Negroes tattooed on my face.
I mean,
his face tattooed on my... It ain't happening.
I've seen people do stranger things. That's why I was like, hey, man, listen, if you like it, I love it. I'm gonna be over here while you do it. Because I'm not even gonna get, mess with that.
Well, some people were commenting and saying, oh, that's not real, it's fake. But she had, I guess she showed when she was at the tattoo shop when they do the,
yeah, they do the sketch
around. So I was like, nah, she did that. No, she did that. And it's just to me, it's just sad because they are so toxic.
And as long as people are watching them and paying attention.
And they're making money off of being toxic.
Yep. That's why I'm like, oh, I'm going this way.
Yeah, I can't do toxicity. I have to be able to coexist with someone peacefully. I can't do the fighting. I can't do the arguing. I can't do none of that. For me, it literally is detrimental to my health.
Oh, it is.
It really is.
You have high blood pressure. Yeah. You're sitting there stressed. Can't sleep, can't eat.
Yeah, because dis-ease brings disease.
Yep.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize. I've said this before in one of my former shows that stress and a lot of trauma will kill you.
Sure will.
It might not kill you right away, but it's a silent killer. It picks away every day. It shortens that lifespan.
It does.
Every day. You're not sleeping. You're not eating right. You're constantly anxious. You're constantly worried. It's always something constant. And so, I don't want to live like that. But like I said, with some people, that feeling feels familiar.
Well, I was told most people go with the evil that they know versus the evil that they don't know.
Gosh, that's just a lot. Well, speaking of people evil, some people are calling... Some people are calling Nicki Minaj a little evil with the beef with Megan Thee Stallion talking about her deceased mom.
Yeah, that's going. Sometimes, you gotta don't go below the belt. So you gotta keep it.
Okay, but here's the thing. There's two sides to this. Okay, so I don't know what I believe, but no, you shouldn't talk about somebody's loved one that's passed. Family, all that stuff should be off limits. But some people think this might be like a publicity stunt because Megan just dropped her new single or something or album. And so people are saying because of this so-called beef with Nicki Minaj, now people are like flocking to listen to her music. They're streaming her music. So some people are saying, oh, this is not real. They laughing behind the scenes while she's going to the bank. What do you think?
I think there may be some truth to that because usually there's always beef between rappers, especially, let's look at what Drake was having beef with. Who's having beef with somebody else?
I have no idea.
But somebody's gonna always have some type of beef. So somebody had a battle. Remember back in the battle rap?
Back in the day. Yeah.
You try to balance or be going back and forth, going after somebody else so they can just sell more records.
Well, but Nicki Minaj has been known to have beef before. But what I was reading, allegedly, supposedly, Megan did a song with Nicki and then turned around and did the same song with Cardi. And they are enemies.
But
I think I read that right. If I read that right. Forgive me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Yeah. But now we do know that is not like fake. Cardi and Nicki.
Yeah, that's
oil and water. No, not happening. But the Megan thing kind of surprised me though.
As far as her
and Nicki, because I didn't know, that just kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't get it.
It did, but once again, we will never know.
Yeah.
If it's publicity, whatever it is, it worked because a lot of people.
Yeah, it worked. She happy, and she's not really saying anything. She's not really saying anything, but now But I ain't gonna lie, I love Nicki Minaj, and I do. Yeah. I've always been a fan. I'm not a what they call them. Those the fans. Oh God, I'm not a Barb.
Yeah, there you go.
But I do love Nicki Minaj. And she's just so adorable to me. I just think she's so darn cute.
Yeah, I think she's a very smart businesswoman.
She is, and she's very talented.
She's very, very talented.
She's very talented, and people say, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I always have to get up for her for where she was and where she is right now. She's made a lot of very wise.
She has
business decisions, not
business
all of them.
Decisions.
We're gonna say business decisions.
But a lot of people are saying that she doesn't want to make room for the rappers that are coming behind her. That she's been a hater.
No, because she realized that you have a small window to be on top, and she gonna make sure that she gonna keep on staying on top because they gonna come up. But to your point, yeah, you should, once you get to a certain level, you should try to help other people get there. But she like, I'm getting
it all. Like, bump all y'all.
Exactly. I'm on top until you kick me off the slug.
And she's still young.
Yes. But think about it. I mean, you had a lot of one-hit wonders. You had some people
she dropped nobody knew she dropped a single like a few weeks ago, and it like blew. And it was like everybody was saying, it proves once again, she the queen.
Well, no, because like she knows what she's doing. It's like, listen, you have a work ethic. I'm gonna work and I'm gonna grind and I'm gonna make sure I beat everybody else. Yeah.
Well, I think that what I would like to see more of, though, I'm kind of getting tired of every week it's a beef. Oh, this one's got a beef or somebody's got a beef. They tried to say last week that Janet Jackson and Beyonce had beef, which they don't, because her mother, someone had made the comment on social media that they should have paid more money, less money for Janet's tickets to go to her concert, less money than Beyonce. And her mom, I guess, pressed like, well, come on, y'all. Miss Tina, she ain't no... I do stuff on social media sometimes. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just be like, yeah, that sounds good. I don't think she was thinking in that.
Yeah, thinking way. Like, oh, it's going to be a negative thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. And she was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I think she was more or less thinking of like, thank you for complimenting my kid.
Yeah.
And not even thinking about the other comment.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there was more to the comment.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the internet, somebody's always going to have something to say.
Yeah.
And even if she would never liked it, just the fact that she mentioned it.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
So then they were saying, oh, Janet and Beyonce got beef. Janet ain't got no beef with nobody. And let's just be clear, Beyonce ain't either. They just don't roll like that.
Exactly. They're too busy working on their careers, their businesses, and everything else. They're like, I'll leave that to the young kids.
And they love their kids. You know, they don't have, you know, but my point is I would like to see, this is what I would like to see. Let's get back to people's talent. I don't care about who you're having a baby with this week. I don't care about what influencer you are screwing around with this week. I don't care. Rick Ross, I don't care. I don't care about, you know, what girls you're passing around this week, next week. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I could care less. He's a busy man. I don't care about that. Can we get back to the music? Can we get back to the talent? Why are we so invested in people's personal lives?
You know why?
Why?
Because it makes other people feel good about their lives. Because think about it, if I'm not doing much, if I ain't got nothing going on, of course I'm going to be everybody else's business because I'm going to be like, oh, well, at least I ain't got 3 baby daddies. Oh, you're supposed to. At least I ain't sleeping with these influencers. Or at least, you know, it's that's why that kind of TV, toxicity, everything is going to be on. Like, just as a side note, a lot of really good shows get canceled if they ain't got nobody fighting, nobody drama. Because whether you don't like it, I personally don't like
everybody's
it.
But everybody's
gonna tune into that way more than if you had a positive couple that's doing good in the community. Nobody.
That's sad.
It is sad.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nope.
And we try to be so positive over here on What's Hot with Jazzie, so I need y'all to keep watching, but I'll talk a little trash too a little bit.
Oh, they're gonna go after you. You said that's the drama. Leasing versus renting.
Corie!
I can't believe you said that.
It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. I love y'all. I know you love me. Corie, thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy. So where are you off to next? I know you're saying you think you're going to go skiing.
I'm going skiing, yes. I'm taking my daughter skiing because she wanted to go skiing. I try to ski at least once a year.
Yeah.
I have a couple of other.
Are y'all going to snowshoe?
No, we're actually going to Tennessee, Gatlinburg.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Gatlinburg.
Yeah. So Gatlinburg, because you can actually go skiing. There's a lot of stuff right down on the downtown strip. So that's why we're going to do that versus if you go to like Snowshoe or Wintergreen, anything that's local.
Well, next year you need to go to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, all you're going to do is ski.
You need to go to Lake Tahoe next year.
Oh, I'm going
ski to California and come back. Fabulous. Lake Tahoe is amazing. Yes. You need to go to Lake Tahoe. Well, Corie, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
For joining me with another fantastic episode of What's Hot with Jazzie.
Oh, yeah.
So glad we could entertain you with a segment of Hot Talk, Hot Topics. And I have more coming. I do. You know, I told you I have a show coming for the women, the Big M. That is coming soon. I'm trying to do it next month. Menopause. So I really want to talk about that. You don't know nothing about that.
Topic.
It is. And so it's a lot of women of a particular age that is dealing with that. And some women even dealing with it earlier who are trying to have children. So it's really serious. It's a lot. So you don't know nothing about that, but that's okay. But then again, it's good for men being in married relationships because it actually can kind of sort of affect people's relationship in some way.
My mother, boy, she had the house be on 2 degrees. I'm like, yo, it's cold in the bottom. She was sweating. What is going on?
Well, you need to tell moms to watch that
she
show.
said it's my personal summer. That's she's having a personal summer.
Well, we're definitely going to talk about it. Moms needs to tune in, and so we can talk about that. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. And until next time, I am Jazzie Carrington.
Corie Scott.
Yes, Corie Scott, and we're out.
We out here.
Bye.